Shalom. How's everybody doing? I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you for being so patient. It is after Shabbat and I'm dealing with teenagers. Waiting for them to come and get settled and everything like that.
We got it.
I appreciate everybody coming out. The kids do appreciate having the audience, and they're a little nervous, so you know. I'm just going to briefly speak because I know you've been waiting a while. For those of you that don't know, the Y.O.Y was started basically because there was a need for activity within the teenagers in Israel, and seeing that that's what I do in the secular world, I figured why don't I try my hand at it in Israel. It's been fairly successful. It takes time. I understand that it's going to take time. It takes time to motivate them and get them interested in doing things that have to do with Israel and the community. A function like this is really more than performing and eating. It teaches them discipline. It teaches them working together as a unit, conflict resolution, and many different types of things they learn from working on an event like this. They did work hard. A lot of them worked hard. You're going to meet the board members who wrote speeches that most of them didn't really want to do. But a little nudging, they're gonna do it. And that's basically it. Everybody that's here, well, not everybody, but the parents that are here all should have received the calendar. If you didn't, please remember that this is some of their first times doing this. So we definitely need you guys to not like jump up and flash the cameras in their faces. We have a photographer, Shani. She's our historian. She's taking most of the pictures, so if we could just make sure that she's able to take the pictures that she needs to take. I understand you want to take pictures, but just, kind of not be in the way when they're trying to perform. I think what we need to do now is start off with a prayer. Is Maureen Michelle here?
Sit in the back.
Once again, O great and glory, in your extreme kindness and mercy, you have allowed our children to come together and to form under the tutelage of a mother in Israel, an organization that even surpasses the activities of their parents. Be with them, O great King, and let them demonstrate to us the way to unite and work together and safely return unto you, O Most High. Wa'amarekat Shem Gadlaka.
Amen.
Wa'ahalel ma'asea pele ba'avur Shem Kwanchika. Ve'edroshka ol pa'am al davar Yisrael. Tidaresh al davar Yisrael Yehovah. Ve'te'ater al kal matavenu. Uzkor rachame kodem. Ba'asher hotzeta et amka mitzrayim. Ve'ha chanina. Ba'asher tzivita la'avotenu et ha-Torah. Latov lahem ve'lanu dor dor. Uzkor ki rofenu ata. Ve'rape na lanu lev ve'nafesh. Ve'tolik otanu bidrakein hamesharim. Uv orche hatadikwe. Nim'an nimtzachei be'enei ha'adon Yehovah Elohim. Hallelujah! 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 Hallelujah!
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the members of the Y.O.Y. Vice President of the Y.O.Y. He's currently getting ready to graduate high school with honors. So I'd like to bring up Nathaniel to discuss with us how can the Y.O.Y have a positive impact on the nation.
Shalom.
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 All right. I would like to welcome all of the parents and the members of the Y.O.Y, all of our friends, our teachers, our leaders. My name is Tanya, and I'm the Vice President of the Y.O.Y. And I'm here to talk to you about how the Y.O.Y can positively impact our nation. Our mission is to serve as representatives of the youth of Israel by inspiring and motivating our peers to dedicate themselves to the service of God by serving His people. We strive to make every effort to achieve this by working together in unity through communal discussions and plan activities to serve the community. The members of Y.O.Y repeat this meaningful mission every time we meet. These words express the various responsibilities of the members of Y.O.Y and our dedication and commitment to them. If fulfilling these responsibilities doesn't obtain a positive impact on our nation and the future of Israel, then I don't know what does. As the youth of the Israelite community, we are motivated to become the future leaders of this community in order to progress our people. We meet on a regular basis to brainstorm and exchange valuable ideas that will contribute to uniting the nation, starting from the youth. This is exactly what Israel needs. Soon the youth of Israel today will become the leaders of Israel tomorrow. So it definitely makes sense for us to know how to work together and treat each other at an early stage for the benefit of our nation. Our dedicated efforts are contagious. Through our work and motivation, we have made a positive impact on the Israelite youth in New York City by persuading them to become active members in the Israelite community. We have also influenced other youth in different states to unite and become active as the youth of Israel. We soon plan to meet with other youth who were influenced by us to establish Y.O.Y extensions and join our powerful movement. By working together nationally, we will accomplish our mission. This is how you build a nation. Imagine a child taught from a young age how to run a nation. The child is aware of the issues and concerns of the nation and the advantages and disadvantages of its responsibility. By the time the child is an adult, the person will be prepared to lead the nation as opposed to a person who has not been prepared from their youth. The person has been prepared from their youth will become more productive than the child who has not. This analogy demonstrates how the youth of Israel and other organizations like us are possible because we have united and we have been prepared to lead at a young age. As Vice President of Israel, of the youth of Israel, I ask that you support our organization and encourage more of the youth to become members of the Y.O.Y. Not only will the Y.O.Y positively impact the youth, but we will positively impact the future of our community and the nation as a whole.
Next up, we have one of the young adults in the Y.O.Y group. She is our treasurer, and we'd like to call up Naya to discuss what is needed in the future for the Y.O.Y.
Shalom, everyone. How are everyone feeling tonight? My name is Naya, also known as Naja. I'm 20 years old. I've been doing law for mostly all my life. As the members of the Y.O.Y, we have to aim to secure a future for those who will be coming after us. In the future, I would like to see youth conducting services, reaching out to those who don't do law, and teaching the younger children to be confident, proud, and happy to give up. I hope we can have the youth involved in all events to help build the nation. The youth need to be helping the elders, stopping by, checking on them, making sure everything is closed. To be successful, we need to bring all camps together as one, because we're one family, one nation. I hope that these things will one day be done. Shalom and thank you.
Shalom. Okay, for everybody that doesn't know, he'll be doing a speech a little later. This is Elquana. He is our correspondence secretary for the Y.O.Y, and he's going to be dancing for you. Next up, we have another young adult in the Y.O.Y, Yashara. She's the secretary of the Y.O.Y. And she will be discussing what have you learned from being in the Y.O.Y, Yashara.
I'm Yashara. I'm the secretary of the Y.O.Y.
Shalom, Michelle.
Hey, Sean! And what I'm discussing is what I learned from the Y.O.Y. Since joining the Y.O.Y in January, one of our major things I've learned is that it is possible for all of us to come together, enjoy each other's company, and do positive things for the nation. The Y.O.Y meetings and events bring us together from the youth and from different camps, and we all talk, we laugh, and that's examples of unity in Israel. When different camps come together under the Most High, only good things come out of it. As Israelites, we all go through our ups and downs, but at the end of the day, most of us are still there. That's right.
I'd like to say that the people, the children, the young adults that have spoken so far were very, very nervous, and I really do give it up to them for coming up here. But they did it. Everybody did it. Now they can breathe a sigh of relief, and the other ones are still nervous. But next up, I would like to introduce somebody that has been very instrumental in helping me with the Y.O.Y among other people. He has just, been there. And I'm the text queen, if anybody knows, and I be texting, I need this, I need this, I need this, and if it's within his power, he tries to help me out with it. So I'd like to announce the male mentor for the Y.O.Y. He's going to speak on the Y.O.Y moving forward. Shati Chaltia.
Shalom, shalom. All honor and glory and praise to the Holy One of Israel. We all must say hallelujah. Blessed be. First off, I would just like to thank all of you for coming. When I was setting up here, you know, I was like, we need more chairs, we need more chairs. They was like, you expecting that many people? We got people here that's not even parents of these children. So I just want to give y'all a round of applause. Just want to thank y'all because what this do right here is this helps encourage our youth. And when they see all of these people, this is why they get nervous. They didn't even expect this many people, but it shows them that you care. And that's what this is all about. So, without any further ado. I don't have a speech here, I just have notes, right? But on a serious note, I want to say this. As a young man, that was me just not even 10 years ago, less than 10 years ago. And the reason why I put my time in is because I know what it does. For me, I had certain brothers in my life that's here today, like Arania, Otanu, my brother, Chief Uzael, Baruch. There was a lot of people that I looked up to myself. And what it did was it kept me in line, because I knew that if I went too far to the right or too far to the left, they had my tail. And this is why I'm here with them. But at the same time, I'm also here to speak to you all, to inform you or to let you know where these guys are coming from. Now, a lot of these children right here, they have a lot of visions, believe it or not. I don't know if you speak to your children, I don't know if you know what goes on in their lives, but they have a lot of things that they want done in Israel that they see. You hear the brother speak about what the Y.O.Y does for him, and the other one, they all speaking because they have a voice too. And these are your future leaders. These are the ones who's going to come up and take over, as you already know. So it's good that we continue to encourage them, in their endeavors. Now, this is a small step, but what this does for them is it shows them that they can do anything if they put their minds to it. They didn't expect a big turnout. They didn't know what was going to happen, but you all have shown them. And what I have seen, what I've realized, and me growing up, I've seen a lot of times that I've heard a lot of times that people talk about other people. And when you talk about people in a negative way, whether it's a congregation, whether it's a person or not, it holds an impact in their minds. It held an impact in my mind, and I didn't even know the people that they're talking about. But already, I will hold a negative feeling towards this person because of what I'm hearing from other people. And this is something that we have to keep in mind. These children take in a lot every day from the houses, from the temples that they go to worship. But when they come here to these Y.O.Y meetings, they don't think about what goes on Shabbat or what they're getting taught. What they focus on is what they can do together. And a lot of these youth right now, their goal and what they want to do after this is to reach out to other congregations in other states and other cities via Facebook, via MySpace. They use technology today to connect with other youth. And I don't know if you see it, but there's a dilemma. It's an epidemic going on right now where a lot of children, a lot of youth, from teenagers up to 20 years old, they are trying to reach out to others in their age group. Now we have, we use the internet to, we have the, Shema have their service on the internet. We also have the Friday nights on Power Talks. We do a lot of this, but the youth sometimes are not involved in that. We have to make sure that they are involved. When you have the computers, speak to them and have them get their insight, because a lot of their visions that they have is something that we can use. Because you are their parents or you are older, does not mean that you cannot learn anything from these teenagers. And they have a lot of things, a lot of thoughts and things that they want to see. For example, college. Many of you all was not able to go to college for whatever reason, but as future leaders, it's important that they do attend college. It's important that we encourage them to do good in school. Some of them are slacking in high school. Some of them are slacking in junior high school. And the reason why they slacking is because they feel like they cannot do it. A lot of them, I also mentor some young ones from age 6 to 14. I mentor a lot of these children, and I see that a lot of them, they're losing their focus due to the streets. They're losing their focus to wanting to be down with the fad, the fashions, and what's popping and whatnot. And we don't understand their minds because when they come home, they like regular kids again. Oh, can I be? I'll do this, I'll do that. But you don't realize the school have them more than you have them. They're in school over 40 hours a week. And that's a lot that they in turn, and they have to get to school. When they get into school, they're on public transportation. They're seeing a lot of these things who are their peers. And we as Israelites in this Israelite community, it's important that we continue to hold functions like this, where to get them involved, have discussions that get them involved, because it'll give them a feeling to know that they're doing this for something. A lot of them feel like they want to give up. They don't understand why it is, why that, why that. But when they get older, as they get older, they're going to understand. So I propose, I'm going to make this short. I propose, in order for us to encourage them, I propose that we have an Israelite scholarship. That we, all these congregations could come together and put together a scholarship, $1,000, $2,000, to show them that we are for their education. We need doctors, we need lawyers, we need all of this. And parents cannot do it by themselves. Please, I'm not here for no clap. Just take it in, just take it all in. Don't clap for me, because I'm in a boat too. I'm in school myself right now, and it took me 5 years of graduating high school before I realized I needed to go to college. Nobody wasn't over me telling me go to college, because I had the understanding that as long as you're able to make money and provide for your family, you don't need an education. But that's not true. You need an education. And these children, a lot of them, some of them, not a lot, some of them don't know what they're going to do after high school. They don't know what they want to be. But the encouragement that we can do is say, look, we have $2,000 here for the best Israelite student who could write whatever, who can do whatever. But that's a start. It'll keep them focused. It'll keep them motivated. Children need prizes. They need something to say, I'm working towards this because my Abba's going to get me a Bentley. You know, that might be a little far-fetched, yeah. You're not getting no Bentley, so don't get gassed. But it's something that you have them look forward to make them want to work hard. And I'm saying all of this because I stay at home. I live with Nathaniel. Now, for all those, Nathaniel is a very motivated individual by himself. But he showed me, one day, he had an essay that was due. We both in school now. He had an essay that was due the next day. He hadn't started it. He had his notes down, but he had to put it together. I watched him stay up all night till the sun rise finishing his paper. And that was motivation for me. The very next week, I ended up doing the same thing because I said, he's not going to outshine me. He's not. He's not. So I ended up doing the same thing. But what I'm telling you is that these children can show you something. And if we continue to stay in their lives, encourage them, find out what they're doing in school, check their homework, check their notebooks. You might say they're old enough, but they're not. A lot of them are slacking because they feel like, I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that. Nobody's on their back. So I enclose to say, let this not be the first. Let this not be the last. But we need to continue to do more. These children, if you look at them, they got some from the Bronx, some from Brooklyn, some from Queens, but they have no problem coming together.
That's right.
They have no problem. They have a schedule where they know they're going to meet. The women do, the girls do their thing, the boys do their thing, and they have no problems. So we can learn that from these children and help to grow. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Next, we have a full group song. While I'm speaking, they can all take their positions, the singers and the drummers. The whole group and the drummers can start taking your positions now. It's called Y.O.Y song. It's an original song that was written by a friend of mine, and I arranged it, and I hope you like it.
I'm gonna wake up every morning
going to introduce you to the four ladies that are standing in front of you. They're known right now, they're known as the Y.O.Y singers. Tashura, Simka,
Shalom.
Naye,
Shalom. Shalom.
Imani, I'm sorry, Imani, and okay, next up, we have a drummers medley. While they're getting settled, I'd like to give some special thanks out to people that have been helpful. I'd like to give a special thanks out to my assistant, Tahila. I'd like to also acknowledge the female mentor. She's sitting at the table in the back, Rebecca. I'd like to give a special shout out to the mentor and the adult advisor to the vice president, Prince Jeriel. The adult advisor to the secretaries, Deborah. And she could not be here tonight, but her behind the scenes work, I don't know how I would have done tonight without her. The adult advisor to the treasurers, Princess Alicia Buck. I would like to also say thank you to Shema Israel, Benny Adat, and Kol Sharif for allowing us to use their facilities to hold our meetings and events. I'd like to give a shout out to Adon Yaroa for opening up his kitchen to us tonight. Also, thank you to Chief Uzael for being our videographer for the evening. Next up, we have, hailing from the Bronx, we have one of our youngest members of the Y.O.Y, Anaya, and he's going to give us a little something about unity.
Good evening, elders, leaders, teachers, parents, and friends. Thank you for coming to this Y.O.Y event and showing your support in our youth movement. One word describes our mission, and one word is the reason why all of us are here tonight. That word is unity. Unity is a crucial part of life. You use the principles of unity whether you are conscious of it or not. In fact, many organisms, human beings especially, need unity to adapt to everyday life. And not only is unity smart, it is safe. According to the wisest man on earth, our forefather Solomon, Proverbs 11:14 states, "Where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety."
That's right.
We fail to realize how critical unity is, but at times get harder. Unity will be the only thing we can count on. Our enemies made sure the first thing they took away from us was our unity. They made men dislike women, light skins hate darker skins, and young hate old. What us youth are demonstrating to you as adults is the power that unity can bring and the accomplishments that can be achieved.
Amen.
As I conclude, I leave you with the saying, strength is in numbers, and in our numbers, we can conquer our enemies. Thank you for your time and patience. Shalom.
Okay, next up is a young lady that she's pretty insightful. That was what I was looking for. Pretty insightful and very creative. And I'm looking forward to hearing her selection. We have a poetry selection by Tania.
Hey y'all. I just wrote something about self-growth and just like being better in yourself and having hope in like bad days, with having hope that things get better, and like finding happiness in a loved one that you don't realize that they're there until you need them. If not today or someday soon, my day will come. One of these days, I'll lay my head down, assured that tomorrow will bring nothing but more sunshine. One of these days, I'll love someone more than I love myself and more than life itself. One of these days, I'll look towards the horizon, full of self-assurity and a feeling of self-acceptance. that I've never felt before. One of these days, I won't look elsewhere for compliments and nice words, because there's always me. One of these days, I will be my only best friend, because I will look to you and see everything I ever wanted to be, my reflection in purest form. One of these days, I won't even need my notebook, my mouth being a pen, and your ears the endless paper I've always needed. Oh, your eyes the only ones that see through me and take in every word, every pause, every comma, every period. One of these days, I won't even have to think about being alone, because you'll never be gone that long. And one of these days, someone will look up to me as I look up to you. I'll be someone's inspiration, someone's muse. My art begets their art, and I'll cherish it all. One of these days, I won't be afraid to fall on my behind, because I know you'll be there to catch me, laugh at me, and tell me everything's okay. But until then, I write, I cry, I laugh, I smile, I breathe, I bleed, I heal, I think, I reminisce, I holler, I mope, I sit, I wait, I grow, I hope, I pray, I eat, I drink, I live, I learn, all waiting on you.
I knew it was gonna be.
That was great.
Yeah, it was. The next person that's up, he kind of really, even though he's a little low key and he may not be the most vocal, he really embodies what the Y.O.Y is about. And one thing that he said, and I knew it before I started the Y.O.Y, he said, I hope we actually do something, and I hope it doesn't just start and just end up and just die off. And that said a lot to me, because, that's what when the youth speak, we need to listen. And that really embodies a lot of what a lot of them feel. Like, a lot of people start stuff with us, but they just go ahead. And there are times that I come here and we're having a meeting and 10 people show up, and I might get a little discouraged, but I understand for the 10 people that do show up that it matters. And I have to say that, sometimes I have a thing called silently dedicated, which are members, not saying that other members aren't dedicated, but just because you're not the loudest one or the most vocal one, but your works speak for themselves, and it shows from the household he comes from, because, his parents, their hands and what they do speak for themselves. So next up, I'd like to introduce our treasurer, Otniel. He's going to speak on why do we need the Y.O.Y.
Shalom, everybody. Shalom. I'm going to talk about why do we need the Y.O.Y. Take your time, son. Take time. When you're an Israelite teenager living in New York City, sometimes it's hard to stay on a straight and narrow path to righteousness. There are a lot of distractions that catch your attention. You can easily stray away and confuse yourself with what is supposedly fun and what actually is right for you. In life, you need a steady support system, and that is exactly what the Y.O.Y is for us youth. It helps us spend more time with people our age that are at similar stages in life that we are. One of the main reasons young people leave this way of life is because they don't spend enough time with Israelites their age, and spend the majority of their time with their so-called friends from school and people around the neighborhood. We need the Y.O.Y because it is the exact support group that young Israelites need to keep them in this way of life. A lot of times we have nothing positive to do, and with the Y.O.Y we get to occupy our time. This group also helps us get the courage and pride we need in order to step up to the plate later on in life and take on our roles as leaders and teachers of Israel. And so.
Next up, we have a young man that, another one that, kind of really embodies what his Abba is about. And he's one of those, what do you need me to do? Need me to take out pick up the garbage, move a table, what do you need me to do? He's just one of those, and you just saw him do a little dance here. So he's going to speak about what questions does the Y.O.Y have for its elders and leaders, and this is our correspondence secretary, Elquana.
Shalom, everyone. Shalom. Y'all gave me? Yes. All right, well, as she just told y'all, my topic was what questions does the Y.O.Y have for the elders and its leaders? And some of the questions that I came up with myself is, how can we come together as a people, instead of having different, going about things different ways, how can we come better together as a people? Become one whole unit of Yisrael. Another question that I had is, how can we keep the youth more interested in Yisrael? Because a lot of youth is going out to other ways of doing other things. Because a lot of youth don't find this interesting or don't see the big picture. But one of the questions I proposed is, how can we keep the youth interested in this, and what can we do for them to make sure that they stay in this way of life? So that's all I have for right about now. So I'm going to say shalom to everyone, and I hope that y'all all enjoyed what we did. So, shalom. All right.
Who's next up?
Knock, knock. Knock, knock.
Shalom. Sorry. Okay, next up. I'll let them speak for themselves as they come in. Okay? Somebody might have a problem.
Get some life. Mark deal.
Yes, I am. Ladies and gentlemen, one by one, the My Sister's Keepers Steppers, Simca. Mayim.
Okay.
Raquel. Yakira. And Yakira. The mic is Rishon.
Like always, giving thanks to the creator of the universe, always. Thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm a little bit nervous. Respect to the teachers, achievements, and all the leaders of the foundation. I wrote a poem. I wish my parents were here to see it. I like to see our parents were beautiful tonight. I'm happy to see all you parents here supporting me. And again, my parents are not here. If I didn't have you, I don't know where I would be. Let me take a deep look inside and explain what I see. It all started when I was a baby in the crib, teaching me about Torah, the way I should live. You were strict with your teachings, both day and night. While growing up, it helped me to discern wrong from right. You always said to stay in school, never neglect Torah, or be a rebellious fool. Be careful of the things you say or do, because the Most High judgment is right behind you. Like a father, like son, the great king raises his children. When Israel gets out of order, the Most High wrath is inflicted upon them. Yes, the entire world knows about slavery. Despite all the hardship Israel been through, the Father still had his mercy. Just like with our parents, stroke after stroke we receive. This is all tough love, you best believe. So give thanks to Yah for your mother and your father. They're the greatest gift to one's life. You'll never have another.
Amen.
Shalom, we're reaching the end of our program, and the last part was left for a special someone who's very, very dedicated to being in the Y.O.Y, and I see why her peers voted her as the president of the Y.O.Y, and she's coming up to talk to you about what was different before the Y.O.Y came about. If you would help me in welcoming Madam President of the Y.O.Y, Mariah.
What was different before the Y.O.Y came about? Before the Y.O.Y, there was no real unity among the youth. We saw each other occasionally on Shabbat and maybe at functions, but that was it. Now that we have the Y.O.Y, we see each other 2-3 times a month. We get to go out, hang out, and really just get to know each other. And still enjoy each other's company. At our first few meetings, I saw the faces of all of them over there, and not most, but a lot, I've never seen before. And I knew that because of that, this was going to be something positive and productive. Now, I stand here and I look at my fellow Y.O.Y members, and I thank them. I thank the parents and everybody else that's here just for the support, just for taking the time out to come to listen to what we have to say, taking the time out to just support us and be there when we need you most. That was the end of my speech, but I can go on if you This is the last thing. Just to the Y.O.Y members. Thank you. I want us all to just try to stay strong and to do what we need to do in order to help rebuild the nation, because that's our focus. That's why we come to the meetings and do what we do to help rebuild the nation. So I know sometimes we give Magdiel slack about, oh, we got to get up on Sunday and we got to come to the meeting and I could be doing something else. But then all I complain is everybody comes to the meeting. So I say to everybody, just keep it up. Keep up the good work and the progress, and hopefully it becomes something bigger than it already is.
Amen.
If I could have them come out one more time, I'd like you to introduce you to the board of the Y.O.Y. First, I'd like Naya, our treasurer. Aniel, our treasurer. I'd like to introduce Okwana, our corresponding secretary. Yashara, our secretary. Shani, where are you, honey? Shani? Shani is our historian. I'd like to introduce Nathaniel, our vice president, and our president, Mariah. If I could also get our adult advisor, Prince Jeriel, to come on up. Our adult advisor, Deborah, to come on up. Our female mentor, Rebecca, to come on up. And our male mentor, Shaltiel, to come on up.
He's going to ego, John. He's going to ego right now, John.
And before I introduce the remainder of the Y.O.Y. Members, and we do our finale song, Praise Y'all. We're going to do our pledge and our finale song. I would like to say, well, y'all know who I am. My name is Magdiel. And it really, it is a lot of work, but it is my absolute pleasure to serve your children. Okay, next, I'm going to ask all the Y.O.Y. members to get in their positions because we're about to say our pledge before we do the finale.
אנחנו מתחייבים לשרת כנציגים לנערי ישראל במועדים אמיתנו והקדיש עצמן לשרת יהוה משרתים עצמם מעמו נצטדל קשה לקיים זה מעובדים יחד באחדות מן דיונים קהילתיים ופעילויות מתוכננות לשרת הקהילה.
Now we're going to do a call and response. You're welcome to reply after Mariah as well. This is what we usually do after every meeting.
We pledge to serve, as representatives of the youth of Yisrael, by inspiring and motivating our peers to dedicate themselves to the service of God by serving themselves and His people. We will make every effort to achieve this by working together in unity through communal discussions and planned activities to serve the community. For let all the peoples walk, each one in the name of its God. But we will walk In the name of Yah, our God. Forever and ever.
Amen.
Here, everybody, when you hear your name, just raise your hand so everybody can see who you are. This is in no specific order. The members of the Y.O.Y. Otniel, Mariah, Tashura, Keturah, Quanael, Simcha, Naye, Raquel, Imani, Takia, Nathaniel, Anaya, Mayam, Kira, Yashara, Zamira, Anel, Shakur, Rishon, Kokavia, Yakira, Elquana, Tania, Adaya, Tahila, Dawid, Sarai, Joshua, Moshe, Nasi, Shifra, Naya, Judea, and I believe I forgot off the list, but not forgotten, absolutely not forgotten, our historian, Shani. Okay, this is our finale.
I don't know what you came to do. You and you and you and you, but the Y.O.Y can't do. We're gonna praise Yah, we're gonna praise Yah, we're gonna praise Yah, we're gonna praise Yah, we're gonna come on everybody now. Come on everybody sing.
My song, Thinking of You. Now before I go, I just gotta let you know, hey, how I feel about you. You got me open, babe. I see them other guys just can't read between the lines. You only want to match with a facial, and I'm right over here. You was just on my mind. What a coincidence that you call. Shorty gon' live long. Crazy cause when she on my mind, that's when she call my phone. Send your best picture now. Put caller ID on my phone. Now I'ma look after this conversation. But sweet love touch my heart, smooth operation. It's funny you call. Why? I was just thinking of you. You don't understand. And I don't need no one else. It's funny you call. Why? I was just thinking of you. My phone, I don't gotta be alone. I'm a gentleman, nothing like the rest of them. I know how to treat a lady. It's a simple thing. Kiss me through a text and I send the one back. Look at me falling for someone I met 2 days ago. Why should I front? Know you feel it, boo. You my ace boon, I'll be taking care of you. Even though this friendship is for a short time. Simpsons, the girl, let me love you long time. I ain't come up with the same line. How you doing? What's your name? Let's exchange now. I'm about to take off any day now. So I think your best bet is to stick around. It's funny you call. Woo. No one else. It's funny you call. I was just thinking of you. My phone, I don't gotta be alone. It's funny you call. Why?